It's the 10th of April, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Okay. It's the week of Pesach. Today is the 9th day of Nisan. The countdown continues until the Leil HaSeder on Leil Shabbos. Be'ezus Hashem abad later l'toiva.
Amen.
Okay. So everybody's good with Bava Kama?
Sure.
We're on
Bava Kama?
Tzadi Bet, Ahmed Bet.
Yeah. Let's see. Just gonna go get a Gemora in just be a second.
Tzadi Bet.
Okay. Okay, so we're up to Sadi base, Ahmed base, right around the middle of the page. Amalei Rabba, the Rabba Bar Mori. Well, that doesn't really tell you too very much because every single statement over here is Amalei Rabba, the Rabba Bar Mori. So, which is this? This is the 8th one or the 9th one?
I think we did the 8th one yesterday.
Did the 8th one
It's about
yesterday? Okay.
It's got the goose that slumps low but looks for his nourishment.
That's right. That's the so that was okay.
I don't think we did the reply though.
Right. So now right. Amarle, right. So what does Rabbi Bar Mori answer back? Because the question of Rabbi was it's Milsadam Reinshe. Shofil Ozil Bar Abza. Azva. So the goose, he goes low, but his eyes are looking up. So where do we know that dictum from? It must be based upon a pasuk. That's the whole assumption over here. So Rabbi Baruch Mori answers him where it can be found. Okay, so that's what we're up to. And Alan, you want to start off the reading?
Amarle?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So you got the right one?
Right. On the bottom of page 92b.
It's a pasuk in Shmuel.
He said to him, Vahitiv Hashem, don't need the Torah, and the S, it was written to Abigail that after she resolved the crisis involving David and her husband, she said to David, and God shall deal well with my master, and you shall remember your handmaid. In the earlier speech to David, she prophesied that his evil husband, who wronged David, would die, and here she hints that at that time, David should consider her as a bride. Just read the next one, the 9th exchange. Amalei, the Bar Mari, Rava said to Rabbi Bar Mari, Or Nilosor, the Ray, Isashay. Where can we learn a source for this thing? that people say, Eugene, Tifray, Montier, the Hormone, 60 aches afflict the tooth of a person. Tikal Haba, Re Shema, below how, who hears the sound of his fellow eating, but does not himself eat.
Okay. Very good. So now let's take a look at, do we have any Rashis over here?
I hope so.
The first devoda is to find out if we do have Rashis. That's the first step. We don't. Oh yeah. Yes, we have one. We have one for Abigail's statement in Shmuel, the Sefer Shmuel. By the way, you may not know, but since we are talking about Abigail, and we're going to focus on what she says over here. So yeah, let's just start. Let's just do this right now, and then I'll tell you what I was going to tell you afterwards, because it's not really related to what Gemora says over here. But okay, so Dibra Maskil, Kasher, Rashi has a girsa of Kasher Yitav, which is not the same. It's not the pasuk. Doesn't seem to be the correct text of quote of the pasuk in Shmuel, though. The pasuk in Shmuel, you have it in your Torah, or I have it as the sixth pasuk, number 6. Lotia zos lecha lepuka l'mikshol lev ladoni lishpok dam chinam. You know the story. The story was that her husband, the husband of Abigail, David, was in flight from Sholem Melech, I believe, and he prevailed upon. He was looking for some help, looking for some provisions from someone, and he sent a request to Naval, the husband of Abigail, and Naval, he not only did he deny the request, but he said some derogatory words about David. And David's men were hot and ready to go and take care of Naval. But really, what happened was that Abigail saved the day with her chachma, and David was dissuaded. And then she told him these words that our Gemora quotes, this pasuk over here. And so let's see how Rashi explains this pasuk over here. Kasher Yitav, and I have a correction over here on this Dibra Maskil. Actually, it's probably just going to say the correct girsa is like it says in the pasuk. It says V'heitiv Hashem ladoni, and Hashem should do good. Hashem will do good with my master. That's Abigail, referring to David as her master, because in fact, the truth of the matter was that at this point, David HaMelech had already been, Shmuel HaNavi had already given him the Shemen HaMishcha and anointed him as the next king. But it was not publicized, because Shmuel did not want to publicize. It wasn't publicized. There's a whole situation over there because Shaul was very much jealous of his son-in-law David, and so he was in flight. Okay, so in any case, let's see what Rashi has to say over here.
Okay, Rashi, because the Haytev, the Yitevs changed the Haytev in the Mazoros of Shas, the Haytev. The Abigail, Kativ, it's written about Abigail. Kativ, Shahaita Mitna Vei, she emot Nevo Bala, that she prophesied that her husband Nevo will die. Nevo, her husband. The Tov Devarim, within her words, Miramzeh, with David, there's a hint to David. She is care at Yafet, that you should remember her beauty or her good.
Yeah. That's what Rashi seems to be saying. And as we know that I believe the Gemora says in somewhere, I don't remember where right now, that Abigail was one of the most attractive women in the entire world of history, whatever. And so that's the way Rashi says it over here. That's what she was referring to when she says that he should remember him, that she should remember, that he should remember her. So what do we see from this story? What does this have to do with the goose?
Seems like the opposite. Seems like she's being haughty.
What's interesting is that she's the one who's
but she's
the one who's making the right. We said that the goose, he doesn't even though he conducts himself in a way of sneers.
It's a question of but other than sneers, it's a question of this is prophesizing about future things. The goose, even though he's looking down, which by the way is something that we all have to do when we walk in the streets here in Yerushalayim, how terrible it is. You still have to somewhat look ahead. So he sees even though she has the situation with her husband, that she has a prophesied her husband's going to die, that's looking down right now. She's looking at the future. And in the future, she says, great, now this is a chance for me, for David to look at me.
Right. She's looking towards the future. And not only that, she's making she's asking David to remember her and basically saying, my husband is not going to be around forever, and maybe you'll, and then I'll be an almana, I'll be a widow, and maybe at that point I'm gonna be needing to have a man to take care of me at that point, and maybe I could ask you to remember me. So that's what the goose does. The goose is not embarrassed to request something which she needs. So like Phil said, she's looking ahead. Also, that's also 100% true. She's looking ahead. Rashi made a point of that. Rashi pointed that out. Right now, she's actually a married woman. She's married to Nabal. But even at that point, she is hinting with these words that, and Rashi's pointing out that he's not going to be around forever. He's going to be, as a matter of fact, I think it was a Seres Yimei Tshuva that Hashem took him away of that year, and then Abigail is saying, "Remember me." So she's requesting something that she's going to be needing from David HaMelech. Okay. As to the issue of it would seem to be a breach of is a woman allowed to ask a man to marry that the man should marry her? Will you please marry me? Is that considered a breach of sneus? I mean, it's the man who's supposed to be doing the he's supposed to be seeking, but here it doesn't the Gemora doesn't seem to have any issue with this per se. As a matter of fact, the Gemora is using it as an issue. Gemora is using it as a prime example of the midah of the goose. That's what the goose does, and that's it's a proper thing. It's not a breach of the Rashi called it in v'senusai, which is not really sneus. It's more the humility. I think the word is humility from the word anivus. It's a type of anivus. So that's
Rashi's, by the way, not using the word ask. He's using the word that it was a remez, that it was a hint to him.
yeah, 100%. Right. But right, so it's 100%. So it's good morning, Roy. Welcome.
Good morning, Rabbi Levitt. Good morning, everybody else.
Yeah, good morning.
We're doing Bava Kama
Yeah, thank you.
by
We are
popular
here.
demand.
Yes.
So right, as you say, very good. She didn't say straight out, when my husband passes away, will you marry me? She didn't say that. She was as snua as possible, but she did say the words that a chacham like David HaMelech will certainly be able to understand what she's saying. And that's certainly the way the Gemora understands it over here as well. Okay. And everybody knows that's what happened, right? Oh, that was going to tell you something about Abigail. One of the other things that Abigail said in this exchange with David, she said, it's something that we say. It's not something that we say. It's something that we write on a tombstone, on a kever. You know the letters on the bottom.
Yeah. I don't know.
The letters on there's Hebrew letters on the bottom, and they stand for this pasuk that Abigail told David when she gave him this bracha. What's it say? It was nefesh adoni tzrora b'tzrora achayim, and the soul of my master should be bound up with the bond of life. And this is what Abigail blessed David with, and when he was alive. And I don't know how long ago, I don't know how far it goes back, but it goes back quite a way. That Klal Yisrael took this and used it as a to remember a loved one who passed away. That his neshama should be bound up with the bound of life, with the other tzaddikim.
Mm-hmm.
And who was the one who said this? Was Abigail. Okay. You look. Okay. Okay. Now we go on to the next statement. which number is this now? Number 10?
9.
This is 9. Okay. Amalei Rava bar Mori. Menoha Milsid Amre Inche. Menoha. Menoha means where do we know this from? Where do we know? In other words, what's the source of this that the people say the following thing? The reason that they're saying it, and it's stuck. It's become a statement that people say, and it has something to it, meaning that it's based upon some pasuk. So what is it that people say? So we have a Rashi over here. Shitin Tichli. Yeah, so let's do the Rashi Dibra Maskil Tichli. Shitin Tichle Matye Lakacha. What does that mean?
It says Avela, Umakeva. You know, I don't know why you would say Ovo, something like Ovo. What that has to do with McCabe is paid. Machovos paid. Pays.
Right, it's interesting.
Avela is considered sorries, worries. You know, being an Ovo, being sad.
Yeah. Right, it seems so, as you say, yeah. Seems to be the way that Rashi's using the word. I don't know if he's not using it in the sense that we use it. Right. Shitin Tichle. So there's Shitin is 60. Tichle Matye Lakacha. Matye Lakacha. What is that referring to? Oh, let's do the Li Ani Abdecha. Oh, that's the pasuk already. And then they go back to the statement of Shisin. Seems to be Rashi's a little out of order here. I don't know why there's no note over here that Rashi's out of order. Oh, maybe there is. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah. There's a, yeah. Yeah, we should read the next thing we should read is the Dibra Maskil Shisim. Before we read the next Dibra Maskil. Shisin is the correct one to be read at this point. Okay, so it says Shisin Tikli, there's 60 pains, 60 pains and avelos that are matya lakacha. So does anybody know what matya lakacha is referring to? Matya is that reaches the kacha. What's kacha? There's no Rashi over here to help us out with the word kacha.
Does it mean tooth?
60 pains reach the tooth. Okay. Let's see. I mean, generally the word in Aramaic is also shinana. But okay, we have another word over here for tooth. Fine. So let's go to Dibur Maskol Shisin. We'll read Rashi Shisin. Who you want to read Rashi?
Lav Mikra Nafke Ella Milsa Ba'alma. Who?
Mikra Nafke.
So it's not written. What's Nafke?
Lav Mikra Nafke, to learn out from, to derive.
Okay, so we don't derive.
Yeah, Rashi says Lav Mikra Nafke.
Ella,
Not really
but
learning.
we only derive milsa, a thing, ba'alma,
Ella Milsa Ba'alma.
a certain thing, who it is. De ka'amre inche v'lav dafka who.
Yeah.
That people say, and they're not being exact. So in other words, when it says 60, we don't learn that it's exactly 60. We just learn that it's an expression meaning that there's a lot.
Okay, let's take a look at this Rashi again.
Okay.
Shisin, 60. So Rashi says, Lav Mikra Nafka. And now it's really understood why this Rashi is after the Rashi of Li Ani Abdecha, because you'll see in a moment. I think there's a reason why Rashi put it over here. I don't know what it has to do with Shisin though. In any case, let's Rashi says like this. Rashi is saying something. Love mikra nafka. This statement that people say. This statement that people say about 60 maladies reach the tooth is not learned, is not derived from a pasuk in Tanakh. It's not really based upon a pasuk in Tanakh. Ella, says Rashi, milsa ba'almahu. It's simply a statement that people say, doesn't have really any firm basis in the Tanakh. That people, this is a statement that people say. V'lav dafkahu, and it's not really exactly the way the Gemora is presenting it. Because why? Because the Gemora is going to present that Rabbi Bar Mori he answered Rava, and he did give him a pasuk. But let's see that right now. Let's see the let's see what is the Gemara saying over here exactly. What is the statement that people say? Shisin tichli matia lakacha. There's 60 maladies that reach the tooth. Dekal chavre shoma v'loy ochal. That's the end of the statement that people say. And Rava was asking Rabbi Bar Mori, where is it that this statement that people say is alluded to in the Tanakh? Does Rashi have something about this part of the statement? The kal chavre shama v'lo achal. Rashi doesn't have too much about that either. Okay, so the kal chavre. The kal chavre, that the voice of his friend. Kal is like kol chavero. Kal chavre, the voice of his friend, shama, he hears. V'lo ochal, but he doesn't eat. Wow. This is quite an interesting statement over here to just figure out what it is that's being said. And Rashi is not Certosis. No Tosis either.
I have a footnote. It does not quote a source. It says, what is the source for the idea that it is very painful to be left out when others are benefiting?
Oh,
In other words, he hears his friend, but he doesn't partake.
wow. It's quite oh, in other words, this person is actually right now suffering from a toothache. 60 ailments and maladies, and are upon this person with his tooth, and so therefore he, I guess, cannot even think about eating a juicy steak, and yet Kal Chavre Shama, he hears his friend chomping down on a nice steak, below akal, and he is not eating anything. So that's the way, that's the situation. That's the situation. So okay, very good. And oh, you mean this is similar to what we said before with the ani, a little bit similar. We said that the ani has two problems. One problem is that he's an ani, and the second problem is that he has to embarrass himself to get his needs taken care of, or something to that effect. And here we're saying there's two problems to this person that has a toothache. Number one, he's in pain, and number two, he's in more pain when he sees other people having pleasure that he's not able to have that pleasure right now because of the pain that he's in. So there's two parts of his pain, I guess. Okay, so where do we? So now, Rabbi Barmori is going to answer him. So what does he answer? He answers from a pasuk. Amalei deksiv v'li ani avdecha v'litzadoi kakoyen l'vinyo ben yoyoda v'lishloimo avdecha lo ikara. Okay. And what happened over here was that this is actually a haftorah. Where is this a haftorah? I don't remember right now which haftorah this is, but this is the episode of when David's son set about to inaugurate himself, to arrange for him to be appointed the next king. And when and Bathsheba found out about this, she mentioned it to Nasan Hanavi, and they both made an agreement that they're going to go to the king, in other words, David HaMelech, and tell him that that one of his sons is busy involved in making himself the next king, whereas you promised me that my son Shlomo is going to be the next king. So what do you have to say about that? And so this is the statement that Nasan Hanavi is saying to David, and he's saying that yes, all the important people were called to participate in this inauguration, but they didn't call me. They didn't call me. I'm the Navi, Nasan Hanavi. They didn't call me. So this is not really something that Nasan Hanavi is too much worried about, that he was left out of this. He didn't want any part of it. But it's not really exactly the same thing as this person who has a toothache. But in any case, that is what he answered him back. Li ani avdecha, and me, your servant, ulit Sadok HaKohen. I wasn't the only one that was left out. Sadok HaKohen was also left out. He's the Kohen Gadol. Ulit ben Yoyada, he was also left out. He's the right-hand man of in over there in the palace. Shlomo Avdecha, and your son Shlomo obviously was also left out because he's supposed to be the next king. Okay.
This is bizarre.
Yeah. Why?
Because the statement that's being responded to is that it's very painful to be left out.
Yeah.
And the answer is, or the source that's being given is that he says, I was left out. But we just explained that the fact that he was left out was not what was significant. So it's grasping onto the insignificant aspect and making it like it was the significant aspect in choosing it as a source.
You mean the main aspect that he was left out of is Shlomo was being left out of being the next king. He doesn't really bother him that he wasn't invited to this inauguration of his half brother.
Right, exactly. I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's certainly included in Rashi's comment, that Rashi says that Rabbi Bar Mori is answering this pasuk is lav dafka. Lav dafka is this a true source for the statement that people say. The statement that people say is a statement, and it is caught on. It certainly has a truth to it. But to say that we have a pasuk, and certainly this pasuk that is the source for it, is too much of a stretch, says Rashi. We don't learn. We're not really learning out that from this pasuk. That's exactly what Rashi said, and that and certainly what you said, Louis, is certainly included in what Rashi is referring to. There might be other things as well why it's what Rashi said, but that's what Rashi said. It's lav dafka.
So what is Rabbi Bar Mari how do we understand what he's saying? If Rashi is agreeing with me that this is wrong, so how can it be wrong? It's the Gemora.
Well, what Rabbi Bar Mori knows just as well as in other words, Rashi's not disagreeing with Rabbi Bar Mori. Rashi certainly understands that Rabbi Bar Mori would agree to what Rashi is writing about him, about this being a true source for the statement that people say. But so why didn't Rabbi Bar Mori say, I don't think that there is really a pasuk that is a true source for this what people say. Why didn't he just answer him like that? That's really the question.
Oh.
I'll just read you what I have over here in some of my notes from some of the commentators. They have a lot to say about this. First thing, let's focus on the pasuk itself. Okay, one of the Anaf Yosef, he's one of the commentators in Agadata. Bir B'Shem HaKli Yakar explains in the name of the Kli Yakar, one of the classic commentaries on the Chumash. Shirabba Bar Mori Diek Mitok Divrei Nasan Anavi Shaloi Amar Kain LeDavid B'Derek Sipor Dvorim Ella Shahayat Sarloi V'His Onein Al Kach Kemich Nasan Hosifa Amar V'Li Ani V'Lo Istapek Lamar Li Ella Ani Umi Lashon Aninus. Oh boy. She's Onein Al Kach. So the Anaf Yosef seems to be trying to understand actually that I'll just translate the words and you can reach the conclusion that you want to reach. Rabbi Bar Mori said this pasuk over here because he made an inference from the way that Nasan HaNavi referred to himself in this, what he said to David HaMelech. Look what Nasan HaNavi said. He said, V'li ani. He mentioned the others, but he mentioned li ani. Now, that's a bit repetitive. Why do you have to say, and me, and me? He just could have just said, and myself, me, myself. It's like saying me, myself. He left out. He didn't call me, myself. It sounds like he's not simply informing the king, but he's venting his hurt. He's venting his hurt and his shame that he wasn't invited over here. And he even goes so far to say that the word ani is the reason why he wanted to say ani over here. He just could have said li. He said ani because ani is similar to the word aninus, which the word aninus is a very strong word.
Okay, I have to go now. I'm going to the kids. Oh,
Okay.
what's the story for the rest for tomorrow, day after, when you're planning?
So we'll try to start at 10:30 and see who's here, and we'll. That's. Does anybody want to make a request for what we should do tomorrow?
Well,
So everybody will know what it is we're going to do tomorrow.
well, I probably won't be around for now until after Pesach. So I want to wish everybody a good, happy kosher Pesach.
Amen.
And if
Too, Roy.
I can get in a bit, I'll get in a bit. If not, well, no.
Okay.
Okay.
Same to
Hag
you,
Kosher
Roy.
Sameach.
Yes, Hag Kosher v'Sameach, Roy.
Right.
All the best.
I
Okay.
think we should do either this or Peleoids.
Okay. Fine. Anybody else have any? Okay.
Well, I haven't been following the Paleo, so if you do that, I'll clean on those days. I just want to know which days they are.
Let's do this then. Let's do this. We'll include Phil.
So you're gonna continue to Gemara tomorrow?
So we'll just, we're right in the middle of this. We have to,
Finish it up. Okay, so tomorrow should be, I'll set aside the time to come tomorrow. Take care. And about 10:30, you're gonna start warming people up?
Bez Hashem, bli neder, yeah.
Okay, take care.
Okay, very good.
All the best, everybody.
Yes, have a good day,
All right.
everybody.
Thank you, Rabbi. Have
Have
a good day.
day. Bye, Mayor. Bye.